In this section, I want to show you how you can create L2TP connections, and of course PPTP connections is the same as L2TP. For this, I need to define a scenario. Assuming that I have router 1 as my main office, that is in New York, and I have, for example, router 2 as my branch office in such as Islin, for example. I want to create secure communication between router 1 and router 2, actually between two branches of my company. So how can I do this? I need to go to router 1 first. Router 1 is my server-side configuration, and router 2 is my client-side configuration. So let's go to router 1 first. On router 1, I can go to PPP. Of course, I can do some of configuration in interfaces, but actually I'm not going to create any interface. What I am going to do is click on PPP, and in interface tab, you can see that I have PPTP server and L2TP server. Because this is going to be a server, it needs to be enabled. So I click on L2TP server, and as you can see, the enable tick is not there. So I check this. And what kind of authentication I want to have? PAP and CHAP are not good. MS-CHAP 1 and 2 are okay, but MS-CHAP 2 is the best one. So I prefer to have this enabled. And as you can see, I have two types of profiles. One type does not want encryption, but one type requires encryption of data, and I want to have default encryption enabled. So I click on OK. I do not need to create an interface here because interfaces are going to be created on demand. Actually, they are dynamic. But if I want to have a specific interface for a specific user, I can go and create this here. But I don't want to do this. I just want to go to secrets, and here I click on this plus sign. As you can see, there are a whole bunch of configuration here, but I do not need to go with all of them. I just want to create a username, for example, Islin, and a password, for example, 123456. I can mention here that this username and password are for a specific purpose, for a specific type of service, but here any is quite okay. I can go and assign a local address. I can assign a remote address to the other side. This is kind of DHCP. And if I want to have DHCP v6 enabled, I can go for remote IPv6 prefix. But this much of information is quite okay for my purpose right now. Click on OK. Now, as you can see, I have a username and a password. And if I go to active connections, there is no active connection created using this username and password yet. So I go back to secrets here. This is my server-side configuration. One part is enabling the server, the other part is creating a username and password. So let's go to branch side. Router 2 is my branch. So I go to interfaces here. In interfaces, I select an L2TP client interface from the list. And here the name can be anything, but maximum MTU and maximum MRU. If you do not touch it, that's okay, because this is the exact numbers that you can see on PPTP and L2TP server configuration in the other side. Let's go to dial-out. Here, the server IP address. I can give an IP address to this server, for example, 1111 or 10.10.12.101. Both of these addresses are okay. But username and password should be exactly what you see in the other side. Islin is the user, 123456 is password. The profile should match the profile on the L2TP server. Authentication list should contain MS-CHAP 2, because on the other side we use MS-CHAP 2. It is okay to have all of these, but the router will go with one of these, and if it is not working, we'll go to the other. And I just want to have the one that is necessary, that is MS-CHAP 2. Now, if I click on apply, this interface is going to into authentication mode, and after some time it is going to be in connected mode. Everything is working just fine. You can see this is running. And if I go to the other side, that is router 1, that is the server side, I can see an active connection that is a connection created from a local intranet. And if I go to interface, I can see that there is dynamically dev and running interface in interfaces. So you can do the same thing for PPTP, and just make sure that everything is working just fine. Now I can create another connection using this username and password. I can go, for example, to router, assuming for example router 4, and create an L2TP client here. From dial out, I'm going to connect to 10, 10, 12, 101. Username is going to be Islin. Password is going to be the same password that I have selected. And authentication type is MSCHAP2 only. Now if I click on OK, you can see that after some time, this interface is going to be in running mode, and this is R appearing here. So let's go back to router 1. Now you can see I have two interfaces using the same username and two active connections with the uptime that you can see from here. The encoding, everything that you want to see is here. Now what can I do to route traffic to this one, to this connection, to this type of tunnel from, for example, router 4 or router 2? That's quite easy. Just mark the traffic that you want to go through this tunnel using firewall or using Mangle, and after marking this in pre-routing in pre-routing chain, you can mark the kind of traffic that you want to transfer through this tunnel. And after that, you can go to firewall, select the traffic based on the mark, and route it through the interface. That's quite easy, and this is up to you to test this configuration.